There's been a lot of chatter on the internet about a certain song, and that song is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. This is the second album by that band, meaning this is their sophomore project, as we would call it in the music industry. This is probably the biggest hit song off that album. Most people, when they hear this, they immediately know what the song is going to be, and they smile and they love this song. It's got a really nice dreamy type feel to it and sense to it. This album was recorded in mid to late 1983 and early 1984. So let's break into it. This song is in a 12/8 feel or a 6/8 feel, and it's triplet based. And just as a little commercial, I talk a lot about the triplet feel in my book, The Triplet Cookbook for Drum Set Independence, which you can buy off my website. So there's my commercial, but I talk about the song in this very book, however briefly. So you can call this 12/8 or 6/8. I just prefer to call it 12/8 because I want to think of it in terms of 4/4 as closely as possible and write as few bar lines as possible. I did chart this song out when I played it over the last 2 decades. I started playing it in about 2006 or 2007. It's a pop song, and pop is an abbreviation for popular music. So it has a wide and broad appeal to people all over the planet and down through history. So as I said, the drum groove is triplet based. So if we're playing in the 1950s, this would be kind of a doo-wop feel. So triplet means 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. But that's not what they really were after. They were after a more modern, for 1983, rendition of triplets. And there was a lot of this going on. There was a lot of triplets. Huey Lewis played a lot of R&B and a lot of triplet-based music and had a lot of success with that sound. So what I want to do is I first want to break down the kick drum. So when I started learning the song and charted it out, I sat down with my DVD or my CD player and a pair of headphones and a pen and a sheet of paper, and I listened to it. And the first thing I noticed is that the hi-hat wasn't straight triplets, and I'm going to give you an example of that. I'm going to kick my metronome back on here and show you what I'm talking about. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's not the hi-hat part. When you listen to this song with headphones on, you're going to notice that the hi-hat is in one channel playing one thing, and then there's a shaker overdub in the other channel playing the other thing. Now, I had many conversations, spirited, with guitar players about this because they think it's straight eighth notes, what I just played. So now I'm going to show you what the hi-hat is actually playing on this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is what I call the upbeat quarter note triplet. It doesn't begin on 1 and 3, and it lands on 2 and 4. And it's going to give some weight to the song. Not a lot, but I'm going to explain that here in a minute. The shaker part goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you listen to that with the click track, you'll notice that I'm landing on 1 and on 3. So when you put those two parts together, it sounds something like this. And here again, I don't know why they did this, but maybe when they got to the end of the production, they said it's missing something. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 1. And even just playing it on two pairs of hi-hats makes it sound interesting. So, I like it. I love it. I want more of it. So, let's talk about the kick drum. So, what we drummers usually do on a slow blues tune is we play like this. So, the other thing I noticed is that there was a synth bass part on this song, and it was kind of hiding what the kick drum was doing. At first, I thought it was just straight 4-on-the-floor quarter notes. And then I could hear maybe the eighth notes on the beats 1 and 3. So. But that really didn't make any sense. So what I eventually discovered was that the bass drum part is just a straight shuffle. So that will be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So obviously not exactly what every drummer would play. And then, like I said, the synth bass was covering it up a lot. Another thing I want to point out about that kick drum part is if you look at the printing or hear it soloed, it sounds more like this. It's got that real quiet note and then loud on the beats. So that may, there's a lot of debate whether this is a drum machine or a real drummer. I'm not sure. I want to say it's a drum machine, but there's just enough there to make me say maybe half and half. I don't know. They could have recorded a real drummer playing it in production and then used the sounds to trigger the drum sounds off of a keyboard or a drum machine when they were mastering, and that's how that happened. So when we add the hi-hat and the snare drum to it, we're going to have this big fat back sound, 2 and 4. That's the fat back. So that's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So one of the keys to playing this really well is interlocking those parts. And another key is when that guitar starts at the beginning, and I'll show you on this. I'll play here in a few minutes. I'll play the hi-hat by itself like it is in the intro, but lock that hi-hat in with that guitar riff at the beginning, and that makes the song sound so good, just really so good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to break this down and play it at a slower tempo. I'm going to play it at 90 beats per minute, so that you can get a better understanding and a better grasp of what's being played. One and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. So one of the keys, and I hope you notice this, is that everything matches up on beats 2 and 4. And then the hi-hat and the kick drum match up on the ands of 2 and 4. So let's play it at a slightly quicker tempo. This is going to be 105. One, 2, 3, 4. Here again, we're locking in 2 and 4, locking it together and making sure the matchups are there. So now I'm going to put it up to production tempo of 122 beats per minute. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it like it would be on the recording, and I'm going to bring it in with the fill, and I'm going to play like 8 bars, and we'll finish the discussion there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, a quick word about all the fills in the songs. There are no toms in this song, so that's why I'm able to sit down and play this. There's no toms. I counted only 8 crashes in this song. All the fills are on the snare drum, and they're either variations of 1, singular hits on the snare drum, single eighth notes, a pair, or sometimes 3, which means you really don't even have to break up the hi-hat to play the fills. So basically, this song just really plays itself once you get the hang of it. It's just a very smooth groove. So I'm going to leave you with that and play a little more of it. See you next time. 1, 2, 3, 4.